All right. Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about writing in the post-Black Panther era. As a black sci-fi writer, how is it to write in the post-Black Panther era? And I came across this topic actually yesterday. I was at Art Basel, this art event that they have in Miami every year, and I was talking to a black curator and just telling them my stories, and I realized, we was talking about Black Panther and the impact that it had on art. Now, this wasn't art Afrofuturism exhibit. This was just a regular exhibit with a black theme, but we were talking about, now they had an art exhibit called Afrofuturism. And, the DJ said he was inspired by Sun Ra. He did a whole, Afrofuturism set, and it was all cool. And I was like, dang, Sun Ra and a whole lot of these other artists have been, pushing Afrofuturism for a while, just like, we've been writing Afrofuturism for a while, and that's why the term was there. But since Black Panther came out, we've been getting a lot more attention. However, all of that said and done, I know for me, I have not written an original story after Black Panther. Even I finished 2 books this year. What else? Working on the screenplay, so that may get credit. But that's, I've written 2 books this year, and both of the books were outlined and written pretty much before Black Panther was released. So technically, I have not written a story after Black Panther. Even the story that I'm writing a screenplay, and or outline for a screenplay, and I'm writing an outline for a book. Even those 2 stories were pretty much outlined or created or thought of before Black Panther. So why do I say that, right? We also asked, they asked me what my favorite book was, and I'm still going down and saying, other than my own books, right? My favorite book is Zorro, A Tale of Alien Avengers, by William Sims. It's amazing science fiction books. The late William Sims. He's now passed away. He passed away in the 90s. But he's out of Philadelphia, black science fiction writer. And he wrote a story that I like to describe as Independence Day. Think of Independence Day, where the aliens are black instead of green or squiggly little monsters. They are black, and we black earthlings, Africans, are descendants of their planet and planetary system. And not only do they travel to Earth, they have superior technology, and they aren't coming here to liberate us, but they don't know that we are in the situation that we're in here on Earth. And to me, it's the most empowering book. Forget it. For me, it is as a black sci-fi writer, as a black writer in black sci-fi, it's the most empowering book I've ever read. Okay, it's the most empowering story, and I know we have some good stuff, and I'm putting my stuff up there. I'm not going to shortchange my stuff, but that is the most empowering. We come from a system that's dominating in the universe, and there's no other threat. We are the controlling factor. The conflict exists here on Earth, and that's where the story takes place. But it doesn't take place in the universe, and they're not like Fear of what is it? Brother from Another Planet, where he's fleeing some damn slavery on another planet. That's not the case here, So there you have it. All right, but that story was written before Black Panther, or the movie Black Panther. But when I say writing in the post-Black Panther era, I haven't read a story like that. That book came out in the 90s. I haven't read a story about that bold. Most of our writing is independent. We just want to write whatever we want to write. But in reality, you know, we're not trying to start no controversy either as black sci-fi writers. I'm going to, you know, just keep it 100. Ain't nobody want all of that heat. We see, you know, sometimes, you know, like I told the lady yesterday, I said, I'm on Twitter, but I don't really tweet, right? I don't really go on there scrolling. I ain't got time for it. I'm 51, right? So I'm old man. I like Facebook and I do a little bit of Instagram, right? But I ain't got time for Twitter because I'm not trying to get caught up in no commentary taken out of context, whatever. And she was like, oh, you know, I said, like Kevin Hart. She said, oh, you said homophobia stuff? I said, no, my problem isn't homophobia. My problem is my politics, you know, and I'm quick to post something up there against Trump, some element of black history, something that people are going to be like, well, that's not true, you know, Google it. And I have to post a whole article, and I can do that on Facebook. I can't really do that on Twitter. So I stay off of that. But it is a pain in the butt sometimes when you have to footnote everything that you say. So now when I post stuff, at least on Facebook, I have that, okay, you know, I just said something about soul food being more than just macaroni, cheese, and fried chicken, you know. I said there's a whole lot of vegetables that we ate, you know. So today's soul food is not yesterday's soul food. And today's soul food shouldn't define what soul food is. So when I posted that, I was ready with articles to go on there and explain my position. But sometimes you post stuff, you ain't got time, you don't even know it's controversial. So at least with Facebook, I get the opportunity to post links of articles so I can support my claim, right? Because everything is a debate. So anyway, a lot of writers, black writers, I know we put Latinos in our stories, which is fine. I don't know if they put us in their stories as much. The ones that I've read, yeah, but I don't think all of them, right? We put white people in our stories, some of us, okay? I don't think that is a problem, but I think we are trying to show the mainstream community to write stories that include us. However, when we put a white person in our story, it's not a token. They find them, at least from the black sci-fi stories that I've read, they are really woven into the story. They're not some extra overpowering magic Negro. They're not some throwaway character that gets killed in the first scene. Now, I've read some stories where it felt like that's what they were trying to do or wanted to do, but even when you look at it, the character isn't that insignificant. But so we have that. But at the end of the day, you know, what I think some people were scared of when we said black sci-fi is it going to be a reparations genre or reparations subgenre? What do you all really imagine? You feel that, you know, an oppressed person, you lock a person in the cage, you hold them down. What are they going to imagine? They're going to imagine freedom. They're going to imagine ripping their oppressor apart. And in reality, I can't name a book where we do that. I can't name a black sci-fi book where we go black dominance, white oppression. You understand? We've never flipped the script like that. We've never, you know, even Arab and the Berbers and what they did in Northern Africa, and, you know, all the colonizer jokes that we have in terms of joking about, oh, you colonizer. African sci-fi has never murdered we've never gone King Leopold on Europe. You understand? We've never dreamed, I've never dreamed of a story where bombs just rained down on Europe and God said, I will even out the score for oppression. No, even in all of what they did in South and Central America, they don't even have stories of Latinos going back and reenacting some reverse, what do you call it? Some reverse Spanish Inquisition. You understand what I'm saying? I wrote a story where I want the people to go and kill Christopher Columbus. That's not all white people, right? I didn't even think, I wasn't even Killmonger enough, right? Let's give it terminology. I wasn't even Killmonger enough to have them go back and kill Queen Mary. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't go back and have them kill the people who funded Christopher Columbus, because they know good and well that they gave them money for what he was going to do, you know, and they even read his journals and continued to send him on missions when he was talking about enslaving the people. You know what I'm saying? I have written a story where we fought Arabs in West Africa, you know what I'm saying? But that was even light. You know, in a story, you can do what the heck, I'm cursing, right? You can do whatever the hell you want to do, and you can write a story where you go through Saudi Arabia and just burn down everything. That's a story. You can do it. You can write it and justify it. But we haven't written those stories. Our stories are still oppressor friendly. We have two major oppressors. Those who converted us and raped us and turned us into Muslims, and then sold us to the Europeans, who became our second oppressor. The Spanish, the Portuguese, the English, the Dutch, the Jewish, all of that, right? And we haven't killed any of those people in our wildest imaginations. So what will Black Panther free us up to do, right? Will it free us up to write about those things? Will it free us up to write some Killmonger type stories? I mean, they've certainly killed all of us in plenty of their stories. You know, the world is destroyed. The only person left is, you know, European settlement. How do you have only white people left and they 10% of the earth population? Well, then you killed everybody else. You didn't even show it, but you killed them. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we may have some liberal stories that bring a threat, you know, almost like a joke to the white world. Like, you know, 2012, there were people still left on the earth, children of men, where you had a little bit of, you know, black fertility still left. But those are almost like sarcastic, cynical responses. The real deal is Independence Day, where the whole earth gets destroyed and, you know, civilized white world, Europe, Russia, America saves the day. Barely even Chinese people. They'd rather throw something to their other Caucasoid mountain brothers, the Arabs, and give them a little love over there and let them contribute to the solution. But, yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, I'm looking forward to black sci-fi. I'm not saying that we're going to go off and do that stuff. You know, I'm of course of the mentality of Michelle Obama. You know, when they go high, when they go low, we go high. But I actually do want to explore it a little bit more. So I'm thinking, you know, an anthology of the day after the spook who sat by the door, which was like one of our most aggressive stories up until now. Not the most, just one of a few. The spook who sat by the door, the book and the movie, was very aggressive. A black militant gang converted to become militarily prep, and they lead a revolt that takes over the government. And it's, you know, in every major city in the United States. I think that's incredible. You know, some books, comic books, genius, and I don't know where Radio Free America is going, Robert Jeffrey's book, but some comic books have approached the subject, but I think we need to do it all on, you know, all out. Stephen Barnes has Lion Blood series that's, you know, Muslims, you know, black Muslims, but I don't know how the black Africans are dealing in that world, because Muslim is a foreign religion to Africa as well. Even though the Prophet Muhammad created that, wrote the Quran in Timbuktu, is still, it's an African religion, no doubt. Let me not say that, but it is not an old African religion. And I will argue that it wasn't even written for African people. It was written for foreign invaders, okay? So in the context, that's what was going on, and I think that's why it was created, whether it was divine ordained or something else. Now, I ain't going into no religion debate, But that's just my feelings. So anyway, I am excited to see what ideas I create and stories I'm bold enough to write in this post-Black Panther era, and I'm curious to see what other creators write. So that was really just my conversation. I always say, you know, Black dreams matter. I always say, you know, we need to ask bigger what ifs in Black sci-fi. And also, we are pioneering Black sci-fi. So let us explore what Black sci-fi represents and what it is. Deuces. Peace.